Another day, another story. Welcome to this presentation on sources of finance. Finance is the backbone of any business or organization, and securing the right sources of finance is critical to its success. In this presentation, we'll cover the main sources of finance available to businesses and organizations, and the advantages and disadvantages of each. Body. Personal savings. Personal savings is often the first source of finance for new businesses. It's convenient, easy to access, and doesn't require any interest payments or collateral. However, personal savings may not be sufficient to fund the entire business, and it also involves a high level of risk for the individual. Friends and family. Friends and family can be a good source of finance, especially for small businesses or startups. It's relatively easy to negotiate the terms, and there is usually no need for collateral or interest payments. However, it can also strain relationships if the business doesn't succeed. Bank loans. Bank loans are a popular source of finance for businesses of all sizes. They offer flexibility in terms of repayment, and the interest rates are usually lower than other sources of finance. However, bank loans often require collateral, and the approval process can be lengthy and complicated. Venture capital. Venture capital is a source of finance for startups or businesses with high growth potential. Venture capitalists provide funding in exchange for equity in the business. This can be a good source of finance for businesses that need a large amount of capital quickly. However, venture capitalists often have strict requirements for the business and may require a significant share of the equity. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a relatively new source of finance that has gained popularity in recent years. It involves raising small amounts of money from a large number of people through online platforms. Crowdfunding can be a good source of finance for businesses that have a unique or innovative product or service. However, it can be time-consuming to set up and manage, and there is no guarantee that the funding goal will be met. Angel investors. Angel investors are high-net-worth individuals who invest in startups or early-stage businesses. They provide funding in exchange for equity in the business, and they often provide mentoring and support to the business. Angel investors can be a good source of finance for businesses that need a small amount of capital quickly. However, they often require a significant share of the equity and may have strict requirements for the business. Conclusion. In conclusion, there are many sources of finance available to businesses and organizations, each with its own advantages and disadvantages. It's important to carefully consider the options and choose the one that best suits your business's needs and goals. Remember, securing the right sources of finance is critical to the success of your business or organization.